So, I'd like to introduce you to someone who is a bit of a cohort, you could say, a bit of an accomplice, a brother, a friend, someone that, you know, not to be overly cheesy and metaphorical, but we're like kind of two peas in the pod. And that's because we share, again, using this cheesy metaphor, the same genetics. We have a similar vision. We believe that we have a similar calling in life. And when we met in 2011, Stuart, was it J-Date? Where did we meet? I forget now. It was one of those online dating sites for failing entrepreneurs. Now, when we met, there was this recognition. It's like, wow, we are birds of the same feather. We should flock together. And the year that followed, and I'm gonna, Stuart, you want to come up, brother? Where are you? Ready to go? He's back there doing breathing exercises.
Hello.
Discover is that we have a shared vision. To this day, we haven't found a way to perfectly articulate it. Sometimes it's just a feeling. Sometimes it's nothing more than just a feeling. But you know what? It's enough. It's enough to fall back on. I can't speak for Stuart. I'll let him speak for himself. But for me, when I need to remind myself it's not about me, this is one of the people I'm immediately thinking about because he's my brother. I'll do anything for him. And I know he'll do anything for me. And what we're building with this company, in some respects, we're all peas in that pod. You wouldn't be here if you didn't share some of those same values. Today we want to share some of the vision, what we're building, bring some clarity to getting momentum in your business and some real powerful tactical strategies. And also, hopefully send you home and back into your life with this calm and this knowing that no matter what happens, it's just going to be okay. You're on the right path with the right people. And that can be a foregone conclusion. The mental energy, the self-doubt, questioning yourself, you can put all that to rest. Just imagine that you can now start to stitch together some tangible results because you believe in what you're doing. How great would that be? To me, that's the definition of success. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Stuart. Please give him a warm welcome once again.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Vegas, back to Vegas. Just to give me an idea of who we've got in the room, who hasn't been with us the past couple of days for Gold? Okay, so a reasonable number. I want to gauge that because I don't want to come across too repetitive for those of you who were in some of the insights I'm going to be sharing. I think one of the things the team struggle most with Jay and I when we come into preparation for content is we like to do things very last minute, and it's a choice that way because we want to make sure the insights, the information, the energy that we're sharing is coming from a place that we're really in. That's the way we're able to be most authentic. And so I'm at the back and I'm just listening to Jay and thinking like, what am I going to do to build on what Jay is saying, but with the primary motive to be giving you what you need to leave today to go out and really finish off 2016 in the most powerful, profitable, successful way that you can. And as I was listening to Jay, I kept changing my thought process in terms of what to share, to build on what he was already sharing. But then this core message of belief, I think is in the short amount of time we have today, is the one that's most important for you to leave with. And I'm not just talking about belief in digital business. I'm talking about belief in yourself. I'm talking about belief that you've made the right decision to be here. We don't for 1 minute take for granted the amount of effort many of you, probably the majority of you, have put in to be here. Huge sacrifices. I heard somebody took a coach from New York. Is that right? He didn't make it yet. He's on his way. He's on his way. We'll keep an eye on the door and give him a warm welcome when he does arrive. On that basis, don't take coach. But I feel it's my responsibility to help you expand on the belief that got you here, but really give you a solid understanding of why what we're doing, the insights, the education, the business we're building here really matters. Because I think when you really believe what you do matters, it's frightening what you can achieve. It's frightening the hurdles you can overcome. Money for me was always challenging when I was chasing it. It was stressful. It was hard work. Even when I first started making good money for myself, it was still stressful. It was still hard work. And I use money as an example because this is our affiliate training seminar. And I'd probably guess that your primary motive being here today is because you want to change your bank balance. Am I right? So it would be out of integrity for me not to really focus on some insights and principles that are going to help you do that over the next 3 months. Would you agree? So something I touched on opening up the Gold event was how once I really realized the mission we were on, and this is actually through the whole event really, and I really had the belief in what I did mattered, everything started to flow, including money. Money started to flow. And I think there's people who go through a whole lifetime chasing money, chasing. Many of who get there. But it's so damn stressful. And if they're not worrying about making it, they're worrying about losing it. And it's because they associate the reason that they're making money because of the hours they're putting in, because of how hard they're grafting, how hard they're working. But what I've come to realize is the amount of money you make today in this world that we live in today is a direct result of the amount of value you provide to society. And what makes the world so different today is that we can reach millions and billions of people from our laptops at home. People often say it's all right for famous people, it's all right for musicians. You know, they do their hobbies, they do their passions, and they make all of this money and it's so easy for them. But they often underestimate things like, well, one of the principles, the core principles of making money is the value you provide to the world. Songs, music. They can take you out of states of depression, bad moods, good moods, bring people together. And I use that as an example because we often look to the outside world, to what other people are achieving, and we feel it's all right for them. They were lucky enough to have a passion. They were lucky enough to have parents who encouraged them to pursue their passions, and now look what they've achieved. But it's never too late to discover your passion, and it's never too late to profit from your passion. When I was in my career, getting up in the morning to my alarm clock, driving to work, doing my thing on the phone, it's very much about me. Not everyone's the same. It's not because of the industry I was in, just my mindset. It's very much about me. My drive was the bank balance. My drive was progressing in my career. Wasn't fun for me. Everything being about me and my progression and my results. It wasn't fun and it was hard work. And it wasn't hard work just because of the hours I was putting in. It was hard work because I knew at my core I was meant to do more. And who feels that way? Who feels that they know they're destined to do more than the mundane, day-to-day, whatever it is that you're doing? Now, that's the majority of you in this room. In fact, I didn't even see anyone who didn't raise their hand. And honestly, guys, that's a really sad situation when we look at world today. Because for me, the one thing that I never, ever take for granted, and you've probably heard me say this before, is waking up with that fire, waking up with that passion, waking up with immense amounts of gratitude to have money and business and success flowing to me as a byproduct of just doing what I love. And along the way, being able to impact a ton of people along the way. The skills that we have today, the majority of us, are obsolete. Our parents, our friends, the era that we grew up in, the pre-internet days, everything was built pre-digital. And there's two major things where that makes a major difference. The obvious, business, transaction, reaching out, having a global audience, not relying on a local community or a local public, people walking past your store or people to come into your shop and purchase. So that's the obvious. The less obvious, when I think about my parents' generation, our generation, for many people in this room, is that to grow, we kind of were fairly limited. We could get books, and I never would want to underestimate books. But my God, how easy is it now to overcome hurdles and learn in this digital world that we're in? Every insight, every progression that I made to get me out of my career, into self-employment, into eventually building my first business, into coming out of low periods, being in 2009, making all this money, doing it for the reasons that I wanted to look good, wanted to be flashy, took me one place, low. Nobody cares about Stuart Ross's life, apart from Stuart Ross. Nobody cares what car's on the drive, apart from Stuart Ross. It's an illusion. And it wasn't until I got out of my own way and started to share what I had done and started to impact others and help others get themselves out of situations that they didn't want to be in, that I really started to appreciate how great it is to have an impact and make things not always about you. The scary thing for me is that the world is changing, and I think it's changing faster and faster than what people realize. Technology, AI, all of these things, it's speeding up at such a rapid pace. And these skills that we learned from our teachers, from our parents' generation, from our friends, from our bosses, are skills that were developed before the internet. Most of my sales and influence skills that I used to list or sell houses, or cold call or convince, are obsolete now. Now, a lot of people would argue, they'd say, well, it's still working. Yeah, it's still working right now. It's still working right now. But here's the thing. Businesses will adapt or die. And with what we're aware of, those of us who are taking and paying attention to the digital world, it's frightening how many jobs and how many industries are going to be transitioning. And the result of that is businesses will evolve or die. And it sounds scary, and it is scary. It's scary because not many people are paying attention. Some of the most successful businesses in the world are not paying attention because they think that we've got local demand, we're different. Local GP, everyone's going to need a doctor. Well, do you know what? In a year, 2 years' time, you'll be wearing a watch on your wrist, and it will tell you everything about your health, recognize any patterns, anything that's changing, let you know you're sick before you're sick. And guess what? You'll probably want to speak to a human, would you agree? But do you want to speak to the doctor that doesn't believe in this stuff, that's monitoring you 24/7, and says you shouldn't trust the internet? You'll self-diagnose and you'll have everything. This is what you've got. Or are you going to trust the digital doctor, the doctor who's actually embracing this stuff? The doctor who's actually continuing to learn and trusting that, unfortunately, whether they like it or not, the world is changing and technology can achieve and do amazing things, and with artificial intelligence and everything that is coming, in many ways it's going to make it a much better world. But the cynical are scared of it. The naive are scared of it. Those who are putting their head in the sand are scared of it. But there's no need to be. We're moving into the digital gold rush. We're in the digital gold rush. And like the California gold rush, where people rush to get their gold, their picks and shovels and buckets, in the hope to get rich, that's what we're going to see in this digital gold rush. But there's two insights that I want to share that are most important. Now, the first insight is the obvious. All of these people that are going to be replaced by tools and technology and industries that are going to die because they don't adapt and they don't evolve, are going to put themselves in a situation where they die or they adapt. And the ones that adapt, guess what they're going to need to adapt? Skills. Digital skills. Because their current team don't have them, they're too busy doing their jobs. The CEO, the founder, most likely as hell doesn't have them. And unfortunately, most CEOs are blind. They don't see what's coming. Arrogance? I don't know. But they'll know when their businesses get washed out, and when they start struggling to win business or even get through the door because businesses around them are really understanding the digital world, not a website, fancy pants graphics, social media. We can all do that. Go on YouTube and learn those kind of skills in 5 or 10 minutes. Might not do them that well. But in reality, that's how most business owners think. That's what they think they need to do. Just get the basics. Now, in this digital gold rush, as these businesses are rushing to get over and transition, there's also going to be a ton of individuals who lose their jobs. And they're not going to want to fight for the few traditional jobs that are so underpaid that it makes them impossible to provide for their families. The wise ones are going to want to build their own businesses or take advantage of this intrapreneur world that we're moving into. And what I mean by that is businesses who embrace more of a freedom, flexible work ethic and start to attract these independent intrapreneurs who actually want to look for opportunities that are much more than just a job. They want to align themselves with the powerhouses. They want to align themselves with the big businesses. But at the same time, they want to be able to grow themselves and they want to be able to maybe do it from home. Why are so many people going to carry on commuting and alarm clocks and everything else when they can do, if they have the skills, incredible jobs from wherever they are? I've built a team of 60 people. They all work from home. They pretty much choose their hours. They just have to do an amazing job to get into our company. And that's how we judge them. One of our guys, admittedly, can't work more than 4 hours a day. That's his limit. But do you know what? He's honest about it. And do you know what? Those 4 hours, more value than anyone that we've ever had that's been doing the same job for twice those amount of hours. And it works for us. And the result of this, of looking after our employees and understanding this world we're in, is the character and the quality of the people that we have. And a big part of succeeding in digital business is dealing with people, individuals, and companies that don't just get the digital world, but are the best versions of themselves. There's less and less room to be half-hearted, to be a bad intrapreneur, like a bad employee. There's less room for that. And as there's more pressure for people to move across, it's going to become more competitive, for sure. But that's why early adopters, like yourselves, like us, position ourselves in a way that we can take advantage of this digital gold rush. Now, if there's one thing I would say to anybody who's financially driven, wants to do incredibly well out of this transitional period, this tidal wave that's coming, is that they understand this one thing. They need to be a person of value for this digital economy. I don't care if it's for your own business. I don't care if it's for your career. You need to understand the importance of becoming a person of value in this digital economy. And if we don't drill that message, we're not doing our job very well. And you won't be thanking me 4 or 5 years down the line, possibly 20 years down the line. By 2030, futurists are predicting that 2 billion jobs will not be here. That's half the jobs in the world. We're only talking about 2030. They will be replaced by artificial technology, intelligence. So a lot of people say to me, okay, Stuart, I get it. There's this digital gold rush. Businesses are going to need digital skills. Businesses need to be at the forefront and get this whole thing. How do I be a person of value? Well, I could talk about that all day. But here's some obvious ones. You could be a coach or a consultant. You could be somebody who understands digital business. You don't have to be a techie. You don't have to build websites. You don't have to be a programmer, but you do need to be a person of influence and resources. You need to have strategy. You need to have game-changing insights that businesses can apply to their businesses. And you need to be connected with the authorities in the various different aspects of digital business so that you can bridge them to the resources that they need or point them in the direction so they can find them for themselves. Huge, huge opportunity as a digital coach or consultant who gets digital properly. And frankly, that is not what you're going to learn today. There isn't time for that. Over the last 2 days, we've been teaching what I believe to be the #1 key principle, which is marketing and influence. And what you'll see when I talk you through these different opportunities, doesn't matter which one you pick, you're going to need to know how to market and influence if you're going to stand out from the crowd. Marketing and influence is what got me out of my career. It's what enabled me to build a business around my passion. And it's what enabled me to build an academy with Jay and for us to grow this company in 4 years, not even trying to grow fast, to over $1 million a month in revenue. Powerful, powerful skills. And we're such small fry in comparison to the Instagrams and the things that you see that are coming up and changing. And I think so many times it's like, I'll never be the Mark Zuckerberg. Neither will I. I'll never be the next inventor of Facebook. I'll never be the next inventor of Snapchat. Neither will I. You don't need to be. Another huge opportunity is to be somebody with digital skills and create your own e-learning. I'm not going to give you the stats now because we need to keep moving, but just go online, find websites, you'll have Forbes articles that will tell you how big an opportunity selling e-learning really is. Being someone of influence with skills, creating courses for individuals and businesses to learn the things that you know and that they can apply to their lives and to their businesses and transition and surf this tidal wave. You could be a marketer, specifically a digital marketer. What does a digital marketer do? They help businesses get customers. Tons of businesses with tons of value, tons of experience, tons of value to add to the world, they got no clue how to get customers in the digital world. That's why they're still cold calling. Ring rounds. Rather than providing their salespeople with shit hot leads ready to do business because they've got digital down and they know that the place people are to find, to build trust and influence and bring your customer up to you on a plate is digital. And those that don't get that will keep doing these old tactics and these old strategies, and they'll be like, this business is slowing down. But there'll be the new up-and-coming ones who get this, the new generations who get this, and there'll be the ones that do adapt. And you could be that individual that helps them adapt as a coach or a consultant. You could be that individual that helps them get those customers by understanding sales funnels, driving traffic. But here's to tie this all in why you guys are here. You don't have to create a traffic and agency to make money. You don't have to be a team of 10, 20, 30 people to go out and kill it in this digital economy by building an agency that helps companies get customers. You can be independent digital marketers, which I think is a great way to start, and take your pick of what company you become an affiliate of. And the difference between a real, true, skilled affiliate is they can sell what the heck they want. Because they have the skills. They can create partnerships with companies that don't even understand affiliate stuff and be the first affiliate and make money. Like you guys, you could align with us and Digital Experts Academy, and you could help us take our education out to the world. And I don't need to tell you how well some of our consultants are doing, you guys know. It's more money than CEOs are making in Fortune 500 companies, and they're working in their pants at home. I am not here to tell you which route to take. This conversation is about you respecting why you're here, why you're investing in your education with us and whoever else you are, and continue to have that belief and grow that belief that you're doing the right thing. You don't want to be obsolete. I don't care what age you are, 16 or 80. These are all skills that sound on the surface digital, complicated, and hard, and they're not. I love Greg and Fiona's in their videos all the time. You know, we're ex-accountant, ex-project management. We made a decision to reskill, and look, this is what we've created. We made a decision to reskill. That's all you're doing, you're reskilling. And guess what? You don't need to drive in your crusty university car and do 8 hours, probably surrounded by a lot of people that you can't really be bothered to be surrounded by. You can choose where you learn. You can buy the courses that you want to buy. You can listen to the podcasts that you want to listen to. I sucked at school. I sucked at school because I was told what I had to learn. I didn't choose. I didn't choose to be forced to do mathematics. Don't regret doing it. Got my C. Woo! But honestly, the skills that have got me here, which is not that big a deal, are all skills that I learned self-learning. All the skills that really matter to me: fulfillment, happiness, passion, drive, motivation. I didn't learn them from a hyped-up morning meeting, jumping up and down, walking across fire coals, because that stuff didn't work for me. Works for some. I needed something to ignite my arse on fire. And that was self-awareness, understanding really what I wanted in life, and finding a purpose that was bigger than myself. Flow. The days have gone of having to commute, sit in traffic, and most of all, do something that you don't really love that much. It's not that world anymore. You know that. We're in an era of the freedom entrepreneur. We can have our cake and eat it. We can travel the world. We can make stupid amounts of money. We can have impact. And whilst these things have always been possible, it's never, ever, ever been as feasible as it is right now. Would you agree? So would it be a shame to be asleep and miss this opportunity? My dad passed in July. 64 years old, he didn't have this opportunity. He had a great life. Not all of us were this lucky, this fortunate. And I'm talking about right now, today. So you're here, let's tie this all up. You're here to get a skill. Not today here, in this room. I mean in this academy, in this community, to get a skill. And the skill we're talking about, specifically with SFM, is digital marketing. The skills we were talking about over the last 2 days for those that were here was marketing and influence. And marketing and influence is much bigger and more complicated and more powerful than the basic principles of digital marketing. But here's the thing. Pretty basic digital marketing will get you into a place that is most likely, I don't know all of you in this room, but is, in your eyes financially, a heck of a lot more successful than where you are right now. Basic digital marketing skills. If we talk about the affiliate model, applying basic, simple digital marketing skills to sell somebody else's product and get paid a commission in your dressing gown. So Jay was talking about belief. He was talking about how important it is that you have belief. I think you probably get what I'm saying. There's a tidal wave coming. We all need to be awake. We need to re-skill. So let's talk about believing in what you're selling. The reason why Jay and I chose to go the affiliate model rather than venture capital was for a number of reasons. The forefront, our original reason, we saw it as a lifeline for other people to have impact, to help and support people. And then as we started to talk to a couple of venture capitalists and their ideas of what we needed to do to grow and build our academy, including putting $10 million on the table to help us, we realized that these VC guys that we were talking to didn't even get the power of some of modern opportunities, such as affiliates. You see, for Jay and I, our core belief is that Digital Experts Academy will impact millions of people all around the world. And yeah, we might be able to do that with a big-ass advertising budget, get our message in front of everyone. But what we realized is that one of the most powerful things both of Jay and I have achieved in our businesses is understanding marketing and influence, and our ability to market and influence a niche set of people that we want to help. So for me, I helped a lot of guys like me in their 20s and 30s to leave their jobs, some in this room, to quit their careers, become successful online. But it was unlikely that I was going to really influence and support the stay-at-home mum that is desperate to re-skill, bring up their children and have a career at the same time. So what we decided is that the best way for us to reach and have the most impact is to train people to know what we know, to do what we do. Because we already had a good base of audience, and what we realized very, very quickly is they were attracting more people like them. The more sales and digital skills that we gave to our affiliates, the more people we impacted, the more reach we had. And so for us, it would be very short-sighted to take $10 million and go down the VC route for many, many reasons that we didn't like, that we heard. And I want you to understand this as the basis of what I want to talk to you about now, which is believing in DEA. You see, we could have taken venture capital and recruited sales staff. Big sales team. But again, we wanted to be self-funded. And how realistic would it be for us to recruit 2, 3, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people to do the selling for us? Because that's what traditional businesses do, isn't it? Take on staff, take on salaries, take on overhead. And we were like, why on earth would we do that? When there's this tidal wave coming, there's all of these people we want to impact, and we know what we know, and we know how we can influence and pass those skills on to others to help us build Digital Experts Academy. So today is about you guys helping us do that as affiliates. And if you choose to really pursue this path, it's important you understand that the skill you're getting from SFM, from the webinars, from Danielle, from Master Marketing, and the ongoing training that we're going to provide you is to give you the digital skills to do that successfully for us or anything else, including your own business and your own products and services. Now, SFM isn't about high-level marketing and influence like many of you have learned from me over the last 2 days. It's really about more of the basics, and the basics are enough to get you out of your situation and create the income, the freedom, and the lifestyle that you're wanting, the reason why you're here. But I think one of the biggest struggles as an affiliate, having done it for many years, is really believing in what you're selling. Because it's very difficult to believe in someone else's dream. Certainly like they do. Why would any of you believe in Digital Experts Academy like Jay and I do? And why on earth would we ever expect you to? It'd be unrealistic, but what I can hope, from what I want to share with you with our product line and why we're doing what we're doing, you really start to get the transformation that Digital Experts Academy is going to provide to maybe some of you who are invested. But more importantly, the conversation today, as affiliates for DEA. So let's talk about what we currently call our silver level. So our silver level, all of the products that are going to come under that umbrella, and I'll talk to you about one in a moment, are cash flow training and education, support and mentorship. Cash flow. Not entrepreneurs, not business owners, not influencers, not marketers. Business models that we recognize people that want to transition can apply by reskilling with our curriculums and create cash flow. Second income to a primary income and maybe a bit beyond. They're not going to be entrepreneurial skills. They're not going to be business skills. They're going to be cash flow skills. Example, we recently did our first Import Experts event. Teaching our students in that room, I think we had a few people there, did we, that are in here? A couple over there. Teaching individuals how to create e-commerce. Create e-commerce or leverage e-commerce. So we taught things like how to import products from China. Pretty straightforward, frighteningly straightforward. The power of what we taught was then how to leverage Amazon, the biggest e-commerce company in the world, who is having and taking most other businesses' lunch, and put your products with them, and sell with them, and generate cash flow. And these are skills and businesses that you can build in the evening around your job. Create that second income. Maybe you love what you do, But wouldn't it not be nice to have a second income? And there's business models like that, like freelancing, like power affiliate marketing, super affiliate marketing, which is our elite level. So DEA Silver is all about helping people create cash flow. Do you think there's going to be a lot of people over the next few years that are going to want to learn how to create cash flow? And we're partnering with the leading experts that do this, and they're in the trenches every day. They're not necessarily public speakers or trainers. They're people that are in the trenches doing it every day. I know all the principles, but I'm not going to teach it to you because I'm not doing it every day. So we bring the guys in that are doing it every day. And that's a curriculum that's in the Silvers member area next week. Freelancing. There are people all over the world in all sorts of roles who can add massive value to the world, whether it be the bookkeeping skills, the accounting skills, or their telephone skills, their sales skills, their design skills, their admin skills, that can work from home in their 90s, just like I do, and provide their services to businesses all around the world. They need to know how to get found. They need to know how to stand out. They need to know what platforms to put themselves on. And that's why we're going to be bringing our freelancing curriculum to Silver. Gold. Many of you in this room have just experienced just part of Gold, which was the last 2 days. Marketing and influence. And I want to hear from a perspective of noise, how good was the last 2 days? Having the skills and understanding and influence and frankly power to get your message to the marketplace, to have impact, to create sales effortlessly. I'm not scratching my head at night thinking, where am I going to get my next customer from? I'm thinking, shit, we need to recruit more people. The skills that we just taught you over the last 2 days in Gold truly are the skills and the main skill behind us building a plus seven figure monthly revenue business in 4 years, not even trying to grow too fast, because we've got to get our company culture and our structure and our product line ready for scale. Powerful, powerful skills, frighteningly powerful, that it keeps me up at night like a massive geek, listening to marketing podcasts and thinking, oh my God, one insight, I can change a load more people's lives with that one insight. But when I was learning marketing because I wanted to sell another ebook or something I didn't really care about, I hated marketing. I hated creating ads. I hated creating copy. But the moment I started selling stuff that I realized was changing the world, I loved marketing. Platinum. Purpose, passion, mission. Understanding how to position you Inc., your brand, your message, and package it up so that when people find you, they fall in love with you. Because they recognize that you're so alive, you're so in flow, you're so at peace, peace of mind. How many people in this world don't achieve peace of mind in their whole lifetime? Because they're robots. Alarm clock. Work. Meeting. It sucks. Why would anybody live to work? Live to work. Exciting, hey? No. People ask me all the time, Stu, laptop lifestyle, traveling around the world, how much do you work? Well, the honest answer is it varies. I'm very in or out, checked in or checked out. And when I work, I work. I work really hard, but do you know what's cool? It doesn't even feel like work. Even the stuff that I don't like doing now, it wasn't always this way, doesn't feel like work because it's driven by passion. Feels completely different. I just wrote scripts and scripts and scripts for the new video series that we're launching for SFM to wake up the world to the stuff I'm sharing with you right now. And I used to hate it. And other scripts, and that's why most of my videos were just thrown out there with no plan, so I could just get them out the way. But as we've built this community, as my relationships with the team, with people like Wolf coming on board, and Guy and Elan, and my business partner Jay, it's impossible not to wake up every day and be like, holy shit, this mission we're on is ridiculous. Purpose and passion and drive is what's going to get you where you really want to get in life. We're going to help you figure that out. It's not an overnight process. But this principle that I'm sharing with you is that don't look at your reskilling as a chore. Don't be a spoiled teenager. Enjoy the journey. Keep investing with us or anyone else. Keep investing in yourself. And then just to wrap up Platinum, obviously we then providing all of the professional branding and the graphics, and that all comes after your why. People think, oh, I need a graphic designer, I need a nice little logo. They spend 2 years getting a logo and no sales. 2 years. Because the logo's going to change everything. No, your logo should just represent your why, your mission, your purpose. Even if it doesn't represent that to the rest of the world, if it represents it to you, it's all you need. And then black. Who in the room is our DEA black? Upwards of 30 grand you've invested to be with us. To invest in your education. Has it been worth it? Yeah. And that's just so far. The true value of black has not materialized. Yeah, we've had some nice retreats. Miami, partying with Steve in Miami. Out on the boat in Miami. Partying in Mexico. On the beach, sipping cocktails, talking business. Bali, which I didn't make it out to. It's cool. But the true value of black is going to be the community it becomes. Not me, not Jay, it's not the Stu and Jay show. And if that's what you're looking for, you're going to be really disappointed because we're busy guys. But we will lead it, and we will cultivate it, and we will install our values in it, and we will make sure that the leadership within Black, as it is right now, is fully aligned with what we're doing and is going to be a hell of a lot better than the people that you're working with right now. How long have I got?
As long as you want.
That's not what I get told. Any help here?
Yeah, you got some help.
Okay. So I've got 10 minutes, so I need to figure out what I'm going to say in 10 minutes. All right. So hopefully I'm starting to bridge any lack of understanding about DEA, the product line, and where we're going and what we're doing, the importance of people getting re-skilled and skills and training and learning and implementing and everything else. So we better move on because we haven't got long. There's a lot of you that raised your hand that wasn't here over the last 2 days in Gold, and so I want to sort of repeat, but maybe go into a little bit more of what I discussed yesterday when I talked about what I believe to be the most important skill in order for you to get where you want to go. And like often we get this personal growth bucket, motivation, drive, work ethic, and I don't believe any of those really are the most important. I believe self-awareness is. Because without self-awareness, we've got all of these success blockers, we've got all of these hurdles, we've got all of these things that we witnessed as 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds, patterns that were programmed into our brains that we don't even know about at a subconscious level that are holding us back. If your parents were arguing about money in that age of your life, the chances are, whether you know it or not, you're afraid of money. Might not be that money is evil, but you probably relate it to pain. And you don't even know it. If you find that when you're walking along, as Elon likes to talk about, and you tripped up and you blame the pavement, there's probably a bit of a blame consciousness around you that you need to be aware of. Always blaming other people, always blaming your circumstances that are out of your control. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit. I didn't really believe in love. I didn't witness it a lot as a child. Not my parents not loving me, but I mean loving relationships. True love. So I grew up not believing in love. And if you don't believe in love, do you think you can find love? If you don't believe in it, not a chance in hell. And there's all these things that we have that block us achieving the things that we really want in life. Used to be very vain. Used to want to look good all the time. Couldn't shoot a video in case my mascara wasn't on right. And it wasn't until I understood that I had this weird, deep necessity for acknowledgement in areas that don't really fucking matter. So self-awareness is what I want to encourage you to be aware of. Your emotions. When you get angry, when you get jealous, when you blame your spouse, when you invent and create all these things that are holding you back. Because the moment you take out the control of you, away from you, you're powerless. It's because the times we're in, we're all drifters. We drift to work. We drift to our nights out. We drift through our drunken states. Drift up in the mornings. We're not self-aware. We just are what we are. That's how I was born. It's in my genes and it's bollocks. So if you want to get rid of these blocks, the best way to do that is to recognize that we're in the digital economy and recognize there are incredible mentors and teachers and spiritual insights that we didn't get at school. The education system is designed to create robots. What am I most grateful for from the digital economy? Not the money, the material things, the cars, the travel. The ability to recognize the importance of self-aware and get to work on that shit. Aware of my emotions, aware of my blocks. And it's not difficult to do, you just need to make a decision to be aware. Next time you want to scream at someone, you want to shout at someone, you're pissed off because someone cut you up, and you go into some rage that does no one any favors, particularly yourself, be aware of it. Now, I can't give you the answers why you have these things. I just know every one of you has them, because I know I have them. I still have them. But I also know what got me to where I am right now, more than anything else, is overcoming those things. Because my financial thermostat was about 6 or 7 grand a month. That was my financial thermostat because I believed time was money. Because I was told time was money. And so I only had so much time, And I wasn't all that educated. So if my time is money, I'm not really worth that much. And there's only so many hours in the day. So as I became aware of my financial thermostat, I realized that I was only going to get my career, or more importantly, my first business, because that's really where I came aware, to a certain level, because it was limited. I had a limiting belief. I had a bullshit rule, that my time was money. And it wasn't until I became self-aware of that I read things like Think and Grow Rich and The Science of Getting Rich. And I reprogrammed from the best, from the leaders of money. And do you know what happened? Went to 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month, 50 grand a month. Money, obscene amounts of money that I was too embarrassed to even talk about. I went from bragging to being embarrassed because of the amount of money that was flowing to me. And it all came through the reprogramming. So belief is what's going to get you from here to where you want to be. And skills. Do we get that? Belief and skills. And I'm going to say exactly what Jay said. I think he said. If you don't believe in what you're doing, if you don't believe in what you're selling, you need to either change that by changing your mindset and really taking the time to figure out what's wrong, or maybe you're selling the wrong thing. Maybe you're doing the wrong thing. Maybe you're doing something that you're not destined to do. And if that's true, your gut, your intuition, your instinct will scream and scream at you. It will never go. It will always be there at the pit of your stomach until you wake up and find what you're really born to do. So on that note, promise me 2 things. Keep investing in your education, wherever that may be. I would recommend in digital skills. And secondly, I'd recommend in self-awareness, and more importantly, mentors and influencers and leaders in each of those areas that you recognize that you need to deal with. Because as you begin to unblock these blockers, suddenly those crazy goals are in sight. It's like going up a cloudy set of stairs to the moon. You can't see the moon, you just know it's there. You take 4 steps, you remove a block, you can take another 4, and all of a sudden you can see the next 4 that you couldn't see before. All of a sudden, that money-limiting belief that's holding you back because of the way you were programmed as a child or through your influences in your life, the gate opens, and guess what? You see the next 4. And then there's another hurdle. And you don't drift or hit the hurdle like most people do and turn back. I knew the moon didn't exist. Liars. Scam. And you become extremely efficient at recognizing hurdles through self-awareness and overcoming them. And one of the primary ways I overcome hurdles is reading and listening to audio. It's not even expensive. Best mentors in the world often have books, would you agree? So don't watch the Kardashians. I watched The Prophet. That's cool. It's kind of reality, isn't it? That's cool. I think I've made my point. Reskill, be self-aware, just keep investing in yourself. Thank you very much, everyone.